Yo, this is Timothy Glean. I'm coming at you with another one of these videos where I just talk to you. And, of course, off of this last couple of topics, I don't want to move in haste and speak anything unseemingly, and I don't want to speak anything that's unwise. I don't want to speak rashly. I don't want to speak foolishly on my channel and just kind of aimlessly speaking on things that don't very much edify or don't very much give you a good perspective on your walk with the Most High. Ultimately, we work this whole thing out with fear and trembling, and just those last couple topics, it's kind of like just an expression of myself and just those truths. When you're walking this walk, we can slap a label on ourselves and say that we're walking this walk. Really, we're living the contrary. And sometimes slapping a label on yourself can kind of make yourself a part of a group, but are you really a part of a group when we should be set apart from groups? And one thing I've noticed, if it's popular and everybody is running to it, I think it's a problem. Because when you live a set apart lifestyle, it's going to be very unpopular. Just what I was saying, just about shutting my mouth and not speaking everything that I feel and my feelings. And this right here isn't something that's in my emotions or feelings, and something that I've been holding back that I probably should have said over a lot of stuff that I said. When 2020 happened, I was looking down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories. I'm in this walk for a year at this time, and just looking into research on the pandemic and all that and this and that. And disclaimer, I'm not going to give any medical advice. I'm not going to speak against anything that I'm putting out there as far as like vaccinations or anything like that. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't. And ultimately, it's kind of the crux of this topic, and it's something that may ruffle some feathers if you're lukewarm, and it's something that may ruffle some feathers if you don't understand scripture in the last days and eschatology, and how where this world is going to end up ultimately. You got to think, like, many people were saying that the shot was the mark of the beast. I believe that's completely false. I believe it's completely false. I don't think that the COVID-19 shot was the mark of the beast. I'm not here to say anything against the shot or anything like that, and I'm not saying this or announcing this out of fear for my channel, monetization, or anything. I don't care about none of that, honestly, in the first place. So my position stands. I did not get the jab, and I didn't get it because I just don't believe in vaccinations personally. I don't think that we need them. As humans, I believe prior to all this vaccination stuff, humanity were able to survive. People lived long lives without it, so do I believe people should get it or not? That I'm making a personal choice in my life. I'm not against anybody that gets anything. I'm against anybody. I'm not even against you, but let's just point this out. People do things out of fear, not because they believe in it, but because they're fearful. 2020 was a test run for the mark of the beast. First of all, y'all got to separate people more. You want to talk about separation between the true church ecclesia and people of the world? Watch the droves of people that went towards the vaccine, the congregations that mandated it. They mandated it, not the option to do it, or not giving people, like, you have the liberty to do it, but people that mandated it, or you couldn't attend service. With the God that we have, our Elohim, they are mandating. I saw that and I'm like, man, my eyes open wide. This is my first year walking this walk, and I see this. How do you think it's going to be when the mark of the beast come? when you can't buy or sell. So that's why I believe people thought that, because it's like, well, I didn't get the jab and I was able to go out and buy things. I was able to sell things if I wanted to. I was able to do that without the jab. So thus, that not being the mark of the beast. So I just want to debunk anything about the mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast says you wouldn't be able to buy or sell. The Antichrist isn't here yet. I believe he's existing, but he's not here, or he's not presented yet. And enough didn't happen to present him yet. So the spirit of the Antichrist and of the age is out there, is strong, is evident. But nobody got the mark of the beast. But it'll come a point in time where a lot of people that were fearful during this pandemic, that was fearful and felt, and I'm not saying people that believe in getting vaccines. So don't get me on that, because people got it not out of fear, because people just believe in that. They got it because they believe this is good for them. Okay. I don't think you're in the wrong at all. I think those that are in the wrong are those that are in the faith, or were in the faith, that got the vaccine out of fear, out of being scared. You got stories like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They said, we're not bowing down to the golden to that statue. You got Daniel saying, I ain't gonna stop praying to my God. I'm not gonna stop praying. I don't care. I'm gonna open my window. They gonna see because this is what I've been doing. There's people that got taken out of their houses of worship. People doing virtual online church, due to the fear. Leadership. I'm not trying to rebuke no leadership, but where 2 or 3 witnesses, how about the whole world witnessing this catastrophe of the lukewarm church? This was a test run for the mark of the beast, and the enemy got to see who's fearful. And the enemy got to see who was not budging. He got to see those churches that didn't shut their doors. That said, we gonna keep our doors open. We don't have to wear no mask. We don't have to do no 6 feet. We don't have to have no mandate. We ain't doing that. We gonna open these doors and we gonna have church. Those the men of God that I respect. Those the women of God I respect. Those that shot or no shot, because people got that jab. That said, I ain't gonna wear this mask, to worship and fellowship with my brothers and sisters. Now, if it was a place cause I went out, I wasn't going out. If a place said, keep your mask on, especially those that were not vaccinated like myself, I was wise. That was the mandate. So I'm gonna put my mask on to go in this place. And I've seen people that didn't have the mask on, that was walking around without the mask, and people have to tell them to put your mask on and things like that. I just wore the mask. I just wore it. Once that mandate was lifted, I stopped wearing my mask. I followed the rules, but it was no rule to say you had to get the vaccination. There was nothing put there to say that you have to get the shot. You did not have to. That's why many of us did not get it. And look at us, we completely fine. I'm not going to talk about the medical things. I'm not talking about none of that, because I'm no professional, health professional. I'm walking in the spirit in this walk with the Most High Yah. And I have faith, and that was early on in my walk. I had faith, but it's like, do you have faith in Yah to trust in Him? Because if there comes a point in time and calamity hits and the US dollar collapses and there's no job, there's no anything, like what are you going to depend on and lean on to eat, to survive, to live, to provide, to do everything? It's coming to a point in time. We saw 2020 and we saw this world go crazy. We saw so-called believers fall into fear. It says the fearful won't have their place in the kingdom. The unbelieving, those that don't have faith, you're not going to make it into the kingdom if you don't have faith. That's what it's about. 2020 and that pandemic was the test run that the enemy used to see who would take the mark. And I hope that those that were fearful repent for being scared and move forward in boldness. Once again, if you believed in getting that vaccine and you got it because you believed, like, and you believe getting vaccines are good for you and things like that, you know, and you didn't get it out of fear, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to everybody that does anything out of fear because somebody told them to do it. But what is Yah guiding you to do? Because he wants his people to trust him. And if you don't trust him, if you don't have faith in him, it's impossible to please him. Excuse me. Without faith in him, we can't even be transformed or renewed to become holy. And we won't see the Father without holiness. But you need faith to have holiness. You know, and it's and that's why people that don't have faith or that are fearful won't make it. Once it all crumbles and once everything happens, what are you going to do? What are you doing right now to prepare yourself? Not just prepare yourself in natural like cases, like have a savings or stocking up on food, but spiritually, how are you preparing yourself for the days to come? There's people that believe in a pre-tribulation rapture. What if it doesn't happen and we have to live in a world like that, where tribulation has come upon us, where saints will suffer? What? Those that will be beheaded for the faith. People are already being beheaded for the faith. So, like, what? Where will you stand when calamity truly comes? Where will you stand? Where? When it's time to take that mark on your forehead or on your wrist. And you won't be able to buy or sell. You won't be able to have anything at all. 2020 has showed the enemy a whole lot on who he can work with and who he can use to try to sway others that may not be fearful away from the Most High and having faith in him. Because all you need is that one person. Oh man, you should, you know, this. Many people tell me, oh man, you should get the shot, or you should. I'm like, no, I don't believe in that. I'm not doing it. When it's pressure to do something that's not comfortable, I don't feel good with being pressured or forced to do something that I don't feel in my spirit is right. You can't coerce me. You can't move me or push me. You know, it's like some cults that would try to use those tactics to get you in their cults. Using scripture to try to force you and move you into their line of belief and their way of believing and their way of knowing things. And it gets to a point where you have to stand firm on Yah and his word. Because ultimately that's what this is all about. You got to stand firm. Because if you don't have faith in him, you're going to fall for whatever. If your house ain't built on a rock and it's built on sand, that thing going to always get knocked down by every storm, every wave, or anything is going to knock it down. And the biggest wave I've ever seen in my existence in the 21st century in general was the 2020 pandemic. It shook this whole entire planet. The enemy tried to use it, you know, in a negative way, and Yah used it to strengthen his saints. Those that were truly walking with him, or those that started their faith early, like people that started their faith in 2019, 2020, that had to deal with that but still have faith. Let me tell you, that's the remnant army. Those that are still standing in this faith. Others that have been walking for years, that have stood firm. Leaders that stood firm and said, we not closing our doors. We still gonna worship. We still gonna get the word of Yah out. We still gonna do our Bible studies. We're still gonna meet up and gather. We're still not. Let me tell you, I commend those men of God that did not shut their doors. Because let me tell you, those are the last day preachers. These are the end time preachers. Not the last day. These are the end time preachers of the day. Prophetic voices are rising out the ashes to point out a lot of this stuff. Not no prophets that are going to tell you nothing about no fortune telling or anything like that. No, prophets that's going to point you to the judgments of Yah. That's going to point you to the word of Yah. We see what's happening in this world, and judgment is coming. And it's like, are you afraid? Are you fearful? Because ultimately it boils down to, are you fearful? Or even if you may have some sort of fear or scare, how much faith do you have to stand firm and be brave and stand in the face of fear? Because ultimately, the love of Yah, and it says love overcomes fear. Like, it really does. When you have a fear for the Most High, the fear of anything else lesser than the Most High subsides. I'm telling you. And it's going to be new challenges that arise. It's going to be new things that may come up, and maybe a new catastrophe that may arise. But as long as you trust in the Most High, let me tell you, you'll be okay. Sometimes we worry too much and have anxiety and anxiousness. Philippians 4, 6, and 7 lays it out well. A peace that surpasses all understanding is what awaits you. If you have peace, knowing that in the eye of the storm is the most calmest place. But if you're running around in the storm, you're going to get caught up in it. But peace is in the eye of the storm. And I mean a literal storm. At the eye of each storm, there's a calm place. Like if you were to stand in the eye of a tornado, in the midst of it, you're not going to whoo. But the moment you say, you know, so I would just hope that what I said, something that I said, could spark something in you to really have faith in Yah. Because you could look back at many moments in your life and be like, wow, he did get me through that. So I know he can get me through this. When you get into the word and stop looking at the Bible like a fairy tale book and look at it as accounted history on real events that happened with Yah, then you're going to realize, wow, he did this for them. I know he can do that for me. It's all in faith. You know, so I had a Bible study on faith. I might just put it in the thing right here, you know, but once again, man, believe on him, trust in him, and trust and believe that he will get you through. You know, it's going to get to a point, you got to take that mark or not, you know, and then how are you going to eat? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yah will guide our steps. We got to prepare ourselves now, you know, for the times to come. And if by any chance we were called up prior to the tribulation, praise Yah. Let me tell you, man, it would be a nice thing to escape all this and get called up. It will be a wonderful thing. But how much more wonderful would it be to truly be able to see the coming in the midst of it? How much more worth it would it be to see what the world will become and see our King coming? So I will hope that you took in what I said. Now, if you took the shot out of fear, that don't mean that you're going to take the mark. You probably had your convictions about it after the fact, over this time, and realized, man, I really did that. And people might be fearful, thinking that they took the mark of the beast and that they're going to hell because they took the no, that ain't the, no, don't think that, man. Our God is an awesome and mighty God. He's merciful. He's not going to allow that. You're going to know exactly what you're doing when you take that mark. Many people got deceived in that, you know, but you're going to know that you're taking the mark. You're going to know. But ultimately, whatever happens will happen. And trusting Yah, He'll get you through. You know, but once again, I hope this message has blessed you. If you're interested in other content, if a film company, clothing company, or just giving or anything like that, I just urge you to visit my website at www.timmyleglean.net. It's a lot of stuff up there that you can kind of just gander at and check out. Just another part of the ministry and everything like that. New stuff coming soon, new everything coming soon. God Got Me Too. God Got Me Too project out now. I ain't been promoting it. I ain't been promoting nothing, honestly, but yeah, God Got Me Too coming out. I mean, came out already, so you know, I'll have that in the description, and just many other things that I'm promoting right now. You know, it's deeper than all this stuff, you know. So I'm, of course, promoting stuff because I have things, I have services, I have businesses to, I guess, promote, I guess, you know. But ultimately, you know, it's really about the gospel, getting the gospel out there, and just, you know, through these forms of ministry, it's just about getting the gospel out. So whatever you can support or whatever you can give will be a tremendous blessing. I'm thankful and grateful to how the Most High has blessed myself and my family with the opportunities that we had to be able to, and just to do this right now is just all by the grace of the Most High. You know, but I don't know the future. I don't know anything. These dollars could collapse at any moment, you know. So however we can be used to support one another, you know, it just be a blessing, you know. Whatever you can do, give, or just support clothing wise, and just gearing up to do more film work for the production company, more music videos and things like that. Not trying to mention or announce anything, but once again, you know, just gearing up to do the work of Yah and just whatever he's moving us or guiding us to do, you know. So, but I'm just thankful for all the support so far. I have to just thank you, the supporter. You know, the subscribers have went up substantially since last year and just making these videos. And I'm just very much grateful, you know, for His grace, His mercy, and just for His favor in my life. You know, just I'm thankful. I could cry right now because, you know, just I have a new audience of people that, you know, can be touched by the gospel message, because it's deeper than all this. At the end of the day, you know, Christ died for our sins and was resurrected on the third day, and the only begotten Son of the Most High, and all of us that believe in that, you know, will not perish but have everlasting life. You know, so I just want to get the gospel out more than anything. So ultimately, I could spew my thoughts, I could spew my feelings, but ultimately it's going to center around the gospel. And that's what I will stand firm on in every situation, every case. I don't care what color you are, what shape you are, what size you are. The gospel is for all, and to all that believe, and all that walk in His ways, His ordinances, His commandments, His statutes. If we guard His ways by the Spirit, by the Ruach, trust and believe, if we're living by kingdom principles, let me tell you, you are going to live in that eternal kingdom for all eternity. Let me tell you, you will reign and rule with Him. Let me tell you, if you walk and guard His ways, watch. I'm telling you. And we shall see at the end of this life. But you got to have faith. And best believe that He going to be with you. But hey, may the Most High bless you. And Yah bless. Woo woo.